discipline and regret. There's no escaping it. If you've got a decision to make, you're going to have to make it. So what would it mean to you to be able to make it a habit? A habit, just a habit. There's nothing difficult about it. It's just a habit. It's just a muscle, the decision muscle. But it takes discipline to build it. And then it eventually becomes a habit to make decisions. Because if a decision seems difficult, if you are able to label it as difficult, just difficult enough to not make it right now, to put off making it, and to put it in a place where you can kind of ignore it for a bit. It's still there. You're still kind of carrying it around somewhere. You still feel like you've got this thing that you haven't dealt with. So the cost of not making the decision is, however small it is, the weight of carrying that around. The nagging feeling, the looming feeling, the regretful feeling that I didn't make the decision. And eventually, so then it comes back and you have to face it again. But the second time it's probably a little more difficult because you've already labeled it as too difficult. So what's going to be different the second time? You're going to get the same discomfort that made it seem difficult in the first place. But the difference now is that feeling of discomfort already has a reaction linked to it, because the previous time when you were faced with that discomfort and you didn't make the decision, the reaction was to avoid it. So that's already built in now. It's built into your subconscious that when faced with this decision, this is the action that I took last time. So the chances are that's the action you're going to take again. So the subconscious will associate the feeling of this is a difficult decision and the reaction of I'm going to avoid making it. And that's how it becomes a habit to avoid decisions, because you're instructing, the first time you make the conscious choice not to make the decision, you're instructing your subconscious that this is the action to take when I'm faced with this feeling, this decision. Because the decision itself, whatever it is, will be linked with the feeling. It has to be, because that feeling was powerful enough or loud enough or difficult enough or uncomfortable enough for you to avoid the decision in the first place. So it must be linked. It must carry some sort of a charge. But that charge isn't going away, and it's only going to come back stronger each time, because then the more times you embed it as a difficult decision, the more it feels like a difficult decision, and it probably exponentially gets more difficult. So the only solution is to make decisiveness a habit. And when you're faced with a decision, you have a second or two to make it before your paradigm kicks in, before your comfort zone kicks in, before the voice of doubt kicks in and overcomplicates everything and doesn't allow you the clarity to make what is actually a very simple decision, because you're going to make it eventually and you already know what the right decision is. You just allow your paradigm to get in the way and keep you in paralysis. So make a habit of making decisions fast. You can't make a wrong decision. That's 5 minutes. Same again tomorrow.